Execute episode 66.
Hello everyone, this is Phil from Yoda's Workshop. Hello, bonsoir, c'est moi, c'est Phil. We're back. Yes, we're back. We've skipped a week due to whatever. And, well, we're back. Good evening. Good evening. Matt Dufton. There, dude. The magnificent air dude. I mean, that costume that you used, I don't know if it was this year, of Bob Ross. Man, that was just perfect. I got hair too, but mine, uh they're getting thinner and thinner, and we're starting to see the. Anyway, I'm a hair dude. I'm also a hair dude, but not as good as you. Um. Alors, bonsoir et re-bienvenue. J'ai un rhume. I've got a little sore throat, so I'm sorry if my voice isn't perfect. Désolé, mais je vais peut-être tousser un petit peu à soir, mais c'est pas grave. On va faire ça, là. Hein? C'est important, là. C'est bon pour toute notre santé mentale. La mienne, puis ceux des autres aussi. So it's good for my health, my mental health, and everyone else around to have something like this. Alors, I'm going to say bonsoir, everyone, in the comments. So I hope everyone is doing great. I hope you had a wonderful week, and I hope that you had a wonderful week off last week, because there was no episode 66. Yeah, so we're at episode 66 today. So this, I'm just gonna say something right away. I know that we're not. I'm gonna talk about it later on, but I have to talk about the contest. There's actually a contest right now on Yoda's Workshop to win a advent calendar. Well, now there's two, and there's also a cap to be won. And I totally, I'm new to this, and I just realized that everything that I tried or I'm asking you guys to do is not working, since Yoda's Workshop is a private group. It's not a public group. Um, so what I'm going to do, probably this week or next week, we're gonna do a straight fill up for the contest. So everyone that will just write down their names will have a chance to win one of the advent calendar. But everyone that already played in both of the first editions, your name's going to be there as well. Donc, en française, ce que ça veut dire, c'est que, étant donné qu'on est un groupe privé, le concours que j'ai fait pour gagner les calendriers de l'Avent, ça marche pas, mon affaire. Ouais, je suis nouveau là-dedans. Donc, ça va vous donner la possibilité, on va faire un straight fill-up. Vous avez juste à rentrer votre nom quand je vais poster la nouvelle, la dernière version du concours. Et tous les gens qui vont s'inscrire, on va mettre tous les noms des gens qui vont s'être inscrits. Et on va faire tirer 2 calendriers de l'Avent de Star Wars. So, it's probably still going to be until November 15. Ça va encore être jusqu'au 15 novembre. Et le 15 novembre, on fera tirer. Même on pourrait faire ça pendant un Yoda's Workshop. Not Yoda's, about a Vintage Kids. So we'll probably do the draw during a Vintage Kids episode. So check it out. Probably this week, I'm gonna not change the rules, but I'm gonna fix the rules. You won't have to do anything. No need to share. No need to do anything. I want to give you guys a chance to win those two wonderful advent calendar. And I want to have the time to ship it to you, because if there's people that wins this that are in the U.S., sometimes it can take as long as 2 weeks to get there. Okay. Donc, cette semaine, this week, it's really funny, and I have to say this because I think it's important. As you guys know, we're at episode 66, and it's not always easy to find a subject. And this is why I ask you guys, if you have an idea, just let me know, and we'll do something that you guys want to talk about. But sometimes I'm ending up on Mondays, and I have no idea what I'm going to talk about. I always have a few ideas in my mind, but most of the time, when I have no clue what to talk about, I ask my girlfriend, Audrey. Donc, quand j'ai aucune idée qu'est-ce que je vais faire comme sujet, ben je me revire vers ma blonde. Hein? And my girlfriend is pretty good with this. She always end up having great ideas. And she said this. I think it was this morning. She said, "Why don't you talk about the peg warmers?" And she didn't use that term. Elle n'a pas utilisé ce terme-là. Elle a juste dit, pourquoi tu parles pas des jouets qui se vendent moins bien, tu sais, qui se ramassent à empiler dans les Walmart. Je dis, fuck, that's a great idea. Peg warmers. What a, what a great idea. And of course, I need to talk about Ahsoka, because Ahsoka's gone. It's done. Loki is already started 2 weeks ago. And I'm going to talk about Loki just a little bit maybe today. But anyway, not about the episode, just whatever. Donc, oui, c'est ça. Il fallait que, donc, ma blonde a eu une super bonne idée. Je sais même pas si je dis en français. Elle dit, pourquoi tu parles pas des jouets qui se vendent pas dans les magasins? Je dis, ouais, c'est une bonne idée. Puis c'est ça. Donc, je lève mon chapeau à ma blonde Audrey qui m'arrive tout le temps avec des bonnes idées. So I say thank you, Audrey, for your amazing ideas when I need some. She's always there, and and it's quick. It's like, you should talk about that. I said, fuck, that's a great idea. Okay. So 2 subjects, Ahsoka and peg warmers. Let's start with Ahsoka. I don't think I'm gonna talk about this very long. I just have a few notes. I'm not going to talk about the whole series. I'm only going to talk about the finale and what I think, what I saw, what I think, my opinion. Again, my opinion is my opinion. I respect everyone's opinion on that show. Some people thought it was amazing. Some people thought it was okay. Some people thought it was terrible. I totally agree on everyone's opinion. It's like collecting. Whatever you collect, it's okay if you like it. So, it's funny because if you guys remember the last episode prior to that finale, I said, I hope it won't be zombies. And I don't remember who I think it's Jim Arsenault actually wrote something down and sent me a message like minutes after the finale, say, you were right. I said, yeah, I was right. And so yeah, zombies. That's probably the part that I didn't enjoy as much in Ahsoka. But here's my theory on this. But let's talk about the bad side first, about that zombie thing. Donc, quand Ahsoka a fini la finale a terminé, j'ai tout de suite reçu un message de Jim Arsenault qui m'a dit, hey, fuck, t'avais raison, parce que dans le dernier épisode de Vintage Kids, j'ai dit justement, j'espère que ça sera pas des zombies. T'sais? Bon. Donc, zombies. So let's talk about why I think there's zombies and why I hope it's not gonna keep on being zombies. So the reason why we saw zombies, and I think again, this is not, I don't have a letter written by Disney or whoever gave me that. That's my personal opinion. I think we saw zombies because they already did zombies in the Star Wars universe in books. Donc, je crois qu'on a eu des zombies parce qu'on les a déjà vus dans l'univers de Star Wars dans les livres auparavant. Ça, c'est correct. And the reason why is because I think it was really the flavor of the month. Everyone did zombies at one point. It was the big thing with the Walking Dead and the disease things and the whatever zombies. Everything was zombies for a while. And I think they did Star Wars. And of course, Marvel just did zombies in What If, and it already existed in the comics. And just give me a second. My dog is knocking on my door. Don't go away. The dog is knocking on the door. Hey. Okay. See that? Yeah, the dog doesn't want to miss the vintage kids. She's right there. Okay, sorry about that. Usually she's always with me, but now she was not with me and she came and she knocked on my door. Okay. Sorry. Okay, ça va mon chien? Tout est sous contrôle? Ouais. Okay, let's continue. So, like I said, everything was zombies. Everyone did zombies, so Star Wars had to do zombies because it's flavor of the month. That's my opinion. Now, what I hope that will happen, I think that that zombie thing might not come back as what we saw in the Ahsoka series. I think what we are going to see is actually zombies are not going to be real zombies because if you check what they are actually bringing back, what Thrawn is actually bringing back in the coffins that looks like coffins. I think there are actually witches in there of Dathomir. It's all the witches, the dead witches. And I think they will bring them back in a way that this will form an army of witches, but it won't really be zombies. It's more like a magic thing. And I think that what we saw with the stormtroopers was only a one-shot deal. I hope. And the reason why I say this is that in the episode we actually hear Thrawn say that the stormtroopers that are accepted to be in this whatever game facing the Jedi were actually volunteers. So they knew that they would become kind of a zombies. Of course, there's the two big death troopers that we also saw. That those guys look more dead. They look rotten. But hey. Anyway, so I think that in the casket they're actually witches and they won't be troopers, dead troopers. Anyway, that's my opinion. Okay, so of course I was sad to see Morgan Nesbitt die because I think that she was bringing something interesting as a villain in the show. So I presume that maybe they will. Oh, she can't. Yeah, they would have to bring her body back in the universe, in the right Star Wars universe, when Ahsoka and everyone will go back. Anyway, didn't talk about that. Donc, essayer de dire ça en français. Donc, je pense pas que les zombies vont revenir à cause que je crois que ce sont des witches in the coffins. Je pense que c'est... Comment on dit ça en français? Des sorcières. Donc, je pense que dans les caskets, dans les cercueils qui volent, ce sont des witches, ce sont des sorcières qui vont être ramenées à la vie grâce à la magie. Et je crois que ce qu'on a vu avec les Stormtroopers en zombie, c'était peut-être un one-shot deal. On verra bien. Donc, j'ai dit aussi que j'étais bien triste de voir Morgan Nesbitt morte parce que je trouvais qu'elle amenait quelque chose de vraiment intéressant au niveau d'un nouveau personnage villain, une mauvaise personne. Du côté obscur ou whatever, mais tu sais, un baddie, là, tu sais, un vilain dans Star Wars. Like I said, I'm going to try to do this very quick. Hello there, forum, all the zombies. Ian Bennett, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, and yeah, I just talked about this, and anyway, I hope that, like I said, it's going to be more of a witches kind of thing and not necessarily zombies. And oh yeah, I forgot to say that we also saw these kinds of spirits or this kind of magic in the Clone Wars. So it's not that new, but like I said, for me, it's sad that in Star Wars they have to use flavor of the month. Like, try to make it different. And they're trying to make it different, but still, they're zombies. So, okay. Uh, of course, during all that season series, that there were a lot of parallels to make with Lord of the Rings, and I totally understand. It's okay because like any kind of story is based on something that already exists, and I'm not going to go there because I studied this in university. But all the story of the hero and whatever the guy, the kid, it's the whole story of Luke. Just join. Are you moving? No, no, I'm not. No, I'm not. Not yet. No, I'm not going anywhere. Like I said, they're gonna have to take me out of a stretcher to move me out of my home. No, this is actually I use this. This is my backdrop. I actually put something to hide those boxes, but this is actually all my collection. A part of my collection. Part of the stuff that I sell on marketplace and on eBay, and it's all kind. It's basically 95% Star Wars stuff. But I got tons of these. One day I'm gonna have to show you guys the whole place, but this is actually a background. There's the walls, the Star Wars walls, all over the place. There's Han Solo there, and of course there's more over here, and there's more over there. And anyway, one day I'll show you my office. But this actually looks like what my office looks like. And there's actually a store display in front of me, but I'll show you another day. But no, I'm not moving anywhere because basically, usually I put a banner on the backdrop, and this week I didn't put it up. So the first episodes of the Vintage Kids, there was nothing there, and Kirk was not even there on the first episodes because he's pretty new. OK. Donc, il y a beaucoup de parallèles qu'on a vu avec Lord of the Ring dans la série Ahsoka. Puis c'est correct. Comme j'ai dit, j'ai appris ça à l'université. La façon qu'on raconte les histoires, c'est toujours un peu de la même façon. La conquête du héros, puis tout ça. Puis c'est l'histoire, dans le fond, de Luke Skywalker. And I'm not going to go there. It's for another episode. But anyway. So back to Ahsoka. A lot of Lord of the Rings. Like I said, parallels. There were a lot of volume in Ahsoka, and I totally understand they have to do it quick, they have to do it fast, but it was good. It was good. I'm not gonna say CG, but it was good visual effects. But again, when you focus on it, it can take you out of the fun because there were a lot of shots that you could actually see that they were in the volume, and I was just, and you'll totally agree with me. Donc, il y avait beaucoup de shots qui ont été faits dans le volume, c'était assez évident. Everything is centered in the same spot. The middle never moves. So there were like all the where the ship actually goes for the anal cavity stuff. And we only saw this place instead of seeing everywhere else on Thrawn's ship. There's so many stuff on that ship. They could have walked around that ship for days and have different scenery, but we kept on seeing for 95% of the show the same image, the volume, and in the background you could actually see what could have been more places that they could go. So for me, again, and you guys know what I've talked about the volume again and again and again. Sometimes less is good, is better, and I think it would have been fun to see Thrawn walking around more in his ship. Not everything that would have to happen at the same place all the time with the same surrounding using the volume. OK. Donc, en français, ils ont utilisé beaucoup le volume. C'était toujours à la même place où c'est que le doigt du médecin là, rentrait dans l'orifice du vaisseau. Là. Prout, prout, là. Puis, il restait toujours à la même place. Puis, c'était tout alentour. On voyait le vaisseau qui volait là. Mais ça aurait été plus intéressant de les voir marcher ailleurs, à l'intérieur du vaisseau de Tron. Il y a plein d'affaires dans le vaisseau de Tron qu'on aurait pu voir, mais bon, ils l'ont pas fait. C'est correct. Okay. I think that they did an amazing job visually on other stuff, and they also did a great job in doing the sound effect and all the music. Great job. Um, so, of course, there was Ahsoka the White, Lord of the Ring, little thing that I've talked earlier. Okay, let's talk about Sabine because it was something that I've talked about in a prior episode. Donc, laissez-moi parler de Sabine, parce que je vous ai parlé du côté peut-être obscur de Sabine, puis en fond, on a eu finalement la réponse. Ahsoka, and it's more detailed, and I love those kinds of details. We actually learned that the reason why Ahsoka stopped training Sabine, it was not only just because she was afraid that she would go to the dark side, it's because she lost her family when the Empire destroyed Mandalore. And the thing that you have to understand there is that Ahsoka actually knows that what happened when you lose your family. That's what happened to Anakin. Anakin lost her mom, and he was afraid of losing Padme. And he turned to the dark side. So probably she did the parallel. Well, she did like, if Anakin went bad because of this, perhaps Sabine might go bad. So I presume that might be the reason why she stopped training him. Not him, her. Her, him, she. Now it's so complicated. Okay. I also love the fact that you can actually realize that Ahsoka, after that she was visited, well, when she went again to the world between worlds with Anakin, that she spent time with him, and when she came back as Ahsoka the White, I'm Phil the White, she's Ahsoka the White, she actually decides to look at the good part of Anakin, everything that he really is, not only the guy that turned to the dark side due to whatever, but the master that he was to her. And he never did anything wrong with her or bad to her. He was Anakin, the best Anakin that we could actually have. Ahsoka was lucky enough to know this part of this kid. Donc, j'ai trouvé ça intéressant que Ahsoka elle revient de World Between Worlds et puis elle se concentre sur tout ce qu'elle a connu. Et pour elle, Anakin n'est pas Darth Vader. Elle a décidé de se concentrer pas sur ce qui est devenu puis de pas traîner la douleur de penser que si elle avait pu être là, elle aurait pu faire changement, qu'il ne serait pas devenu Darth Vader. No, she decided to put away the fact that she feels bad that perhaps if she would have stayed with Anakin, he wouldn't have turned to the dark side. So she decided to throw that away. Donc, et je pense que c'est un peu pour ça aussi qu'on le voit à la fin. There's a reason why we see him at the end of the show. She's ready to listen to him, but listen to the right Anakin, the good side of him that she knows. Okay. Of course, we were wondering what was coming. There's two things that people talked about that was coming, because Balin's call is talking about a greater power, and we didn't know what it was. I've talked about the Mortis God, and I've talked about what's the big beast thing? I forgot the name. And of course, there's also the aspect of the Zifo. Zifo. I didn't know about this. I've learned it watching videos, and the Zifo are actually a race that existed a long, long time ago, and that we learn more about that species in the last Star Wars video game. So go check that out. It's the Zifo, and they actually are mentioned in a few ways in that series, and I think we're gonna see more about them. We'll hear more about them in the next season or in the next movies. Sorry about that. Okay. Where's my garbage can? T'as-tu mangé ma poubelle? I'll put it there. Okay. My garbage can's gone. Oh, I'm out of focus again. J'enlève mon micro là. Stupid camera. No, I did not change my camera yet. Yeah, okay, we'll stay here and wait. No, it's a fucking joke, man. I need to put it through $300 on this shit and fix this thing. This is ridiculous, man. It's getting worse every week. Let me clean this up. Anyway, it will fix itself eventually. Sorry about the terrible camera quality. When we're gonna have 1,000 viewers every week, perhaps I'll have the money to change this thing. Oh, I'm kidding. I'm gonna get a new camera, and it needs to be a good one. Oh, I'm back. Okay. So we finally learned that it's actually the Mortis gods, because Balin Squall is actually standing on the 3 big statues or whatever at the end of the show, and he's actually looking at a mountain far away with that little beacon flashing. And if you are a Clone Wars addict, or you've watched the Clone Wars animated series, you actually know that in season 3 there's when you actually, well, the Mortis gods are actually introduced to us, you can actually see at the end of the episode, just like Balin did, watching in the far distance that mountain with that beacon flashing. So it's the same thing. It's the same one. So yeah. So I presume that in season 2, Balin's call, but the guy is dead, so that's actually a problem. We're gonna see more of the Mortis gods, and just to give you a quick idea, Mortis gods, I'm not gonna go into deep in this. Go check the episode in season 3 of the Clone Wars. But Ahsoka was saved by the daughter. There's a father, there's the daughter, and there's the son. The son represents the dark side, the daughter represents the light side, and the father represents the balance between everything. And Balin is actually standing on the father. And in this shot of Ahsoka, the head of the daughter is gone, because the daughter gave her life to save Ahsoka in that episode of season 3 in the Clone Wars. Donc, je vous invite à aller écouter l'épisode de la saison 3 de Clone Wars, où est-ce qu'on apprend c'est qui les Mortis Gods. Ça vaut vraiment la peine, parce que ça vient aider à tout comprendre qu'est-ce qui se passe. On les voit aussi dans Rebels. Mais bon, on n'embarquera pas tout dans les détails. Okay, so that's it. There's a few more things I'm just going to say very quickly. We can actually see that the witches are not working hand in hand really with Thrawn, because Thrawn says, for the Empire, and Morgan Nesbitt actually says for that Amir. There's a few places in the show where the witches actually look at Thrawn like, "What are you fucking doing?" Donc on réalise que les witches, les sorcières, ils sont pas vraiment, ils travaillent pas vraiment main dans la main pour les mêmes raisons que Thrawn. Thrawn est dit pour l'Empire, Nesbitt dit pour Dathomir. Ils s'entraident, mais ils n'ont pas le même but. Et on réalise que éventuellement les sorcières vont se revirer contre Thrawn. We actually realize that the witches will go against Thrawn eventually. And another great example of this is at the end when they actually leave. Thrawn asks to destroy the pillar or the castle that they're standing, the doctor's finger, checking on the, you know. And when he asked to destroy this thing, the witches actually looked at him like, "What the hell? This is our home," you know. Fait que bon, ça c'est une des choses. There's something I think I talked about earlier, and for Shin Ati, for that character, I really think that she's a kind of a Joan of Arc character, and we can actually see her trying to take the lead on these people that are living on Paradia, opening our lightsaber. Oh, a really symbolic gesture. Donc, moi, je pense vraiment que Shin Hati va être un personnage un peu comme Jeanne d'Arc. Elle va devenir un peu le chef de cette tribu-là qui est sur la planète. On verra bien vers quoi ça va s'en aller. I think that's it. The only thing I'm going to add is you have to keep in mind that they are trying to fix one big issue, and it's somehow Palpatine returns. Keep that in mind. Everything that they're going to do now forwards for the next 10 years, or at least 5 years or more, it's to fix that sentence and to fix what happened with Ryan Johnson when he decided to go that way when they were heading that way. And they had to bring back Ian McDiarmid as Palpatine for some kind of reason, trying to save the whole trilogy. That's part one. But you also have to remember that they announced that Filoni is going to make at least one movie or even more. So they have to bring everyone together just like they did in Avengers Endgame. So they're going to have this Endgame movie or trilogy that will bring every character that are fixed in that era. And you have to keep in mind that that is actually about 5 years after Return of the Jedi. 5 or 6 years after Return of the Jedi. So keep in mind, Luke, Chewie, Han, Luke, Chewie, Han, C-3PO, R2, everyone's still there from the original trilogy. Ahsoka, now. Can you imagine everyone all together fighting Tron? So I think that they are trying to go that way. And by bringing the Witches of Dathomir, they're actually bringing someone else than the Empire to fight. So you can actually have like 3 people fighting for something, but it's not only the good, the bad. There's going to be the good, the bad, and the ugly. Because they're not looking very good. So that's it for Ahsoka. I hope you've enjoyed the show. I really did. I loved the Space Whale. It was not Ahsoka. You have to admit that it was. We saw C-3PO. You're totally right. They brought back C-3PO. Audrey, t'as raison. Et ça fit en plein dans ce que je disais, dans le fond. Ils sont tous en train. Il faut se souvenir qu'on a accès à tous les personnages de la trilogie originale pour arriver au film de Filoni. Ou la trilogie de Filoni. We don't know. So I'm really happy with the show. I'm happy with what they did. Like I said, they actually did a Rebels Season 5. Donc, ils ont pas mal fait un Rebels saison 5, comme j'avais prédit ou comme tout le monde pensait bien, parce que le seul personnage qu'on n'a pas vu, c'est Zeb. The only character we haven't seen is Zeb. We saw him in Mandalorian, but not in Ahsoka. Not yet. So next season might be called Rebels Season 6. We don't know. Okay. Well, in fact, they could not call it Rebels because there's no more Rebels. There's no more Rebel Alliance. Ah, see, that's the reason why they haven't called it Rebels Season 6. 5. Okay, let's talk about peg warmers. Donc, on va parler de ces personnages, ces figurines qui se ramassent à pourrir sur les allées de toutes les Walmart. We have to talk about this because, and the reason why I want to talk about this is not only because it's always the same characters that are there. I'm starting to have issues with this, and I'm going to tell you why. Nowadays, when you purchase a case of Star Wars figures directly from Hasbro, you actually get a wave, but yeah, they're not going to put the whole wave in there. They're going to add a few double figures. And most of the time, it's the figures that people don't want. The ones that doesn't sell. So you have two Lando Calrissian, you have two Rose, you have two Rose Tico, you have two General Hux or whatever. You're ending up having more and more and more figures that are not selling, and more than one per case. Donc, on va parler des peg warmers et on s'en va toujours avec dans une caisse de Hasbro. On se retrouve toujours avec des doubles parce qu'on n'a pas juste la wave complète, on a toujours des suppléments et on se retrouve avec un paquet de trop de figurines, puis on se ramasse avec plein de figurines qui ne se vendent pas. Et la raison pourquoi je veux parler aussi de ça, c'est qu'il y a quelque chose qui commence vraiment à me déranger. Why are they doing this? Why are they producing more of the figures that people don't buy? Are they really thinking that people will start buying them? No, time is telling you that they won't. So stop making 3 Landos per case and just put one, like all the other figures. Or if you want to be sure to sell them, put another Luke or put another Ahsoka figures that will sell. Donc au lieu de faire ça, vous voyez bien que le temps, ça prouve que les gens ne vont pas plus en acheter. Mettez des figurines, le monde veut avoir. Bon. But here's the problem. You guys in the US are very, very, very lucky. And let me explain why. And I'm not talking about price differences. I've talked about this. I'm not talking about shipping. I'm talking about the fact that you guys actually have a store that is called Holley's. Holley's, O-L-L. I've got pictures somewhere, but I've posted pictures. I see posts on what Holley's actually sells. They actually sell the peg warmers. I totally understand. Over here in Canada, sometimes we're lucky enough to have peg warmers ending up at Dollarama. That's like a dollar store, but now there's nothing under $5, so it's not really a dollar store anymore. So if you're lucky, you're gonna end up being able to purchase some peg warmers at very cheap price at Dollarama. But you guys have Holley's, and I'm freaking out when I see those posts on other groups. You actually are able to purchase Black Series figures, 6-inch figures, for like under $10. Man, over here in Quebec or in Canada, Black Series, if you're lucky, you're gonna have to pay $30 or $35 minimum, and you guys have them under $10. I mean, yes, please. And what actually threw me away, it's the last sales that they did a few weeks ago. I saw that at Ollie's there were tons of Black Series. There were actually a Boba Fett statue selling for $29. Over here, you can purchase that same thing for around $200 Canadian. But that's not all. And this one, I really don't understand. You guys actually had the chance to purchase a Star Wars Black Series helmet for $29.99. You're gonna say, yeah, but it was not Luke's, it's not Vader's, it's not Sabine or whatever. But it's still Dave Filoni's helmet, wolf thing guy on the X-wing, and I just can't believe it. Is it because they weren't able to sell it and they just threw them away at $29.99? The reason why I'm saying this is I've got one. I've got the wolf helmet because I thought it looks amazing, and of course it's Filoni's. It's great. It's a great collector's item. But I paid $200 for it. Welcome to Canada. Yeah, I really did. It cost me $200. And you guys are able to purchase the same helmet at $29.99. I mean, what? What? We need to open Ollie's in Quebec tomorrow, yesterday. So I'm not pissed at you guys, and that's not the point. What I'm saying is, how come Hasbro actually tries to sell figures over here in Canada or even the US for $50? Because nowadays they're $50. And helmets at $200 over here in Canada, or $150 or one whatever in the US, and just give them away to Ollie's to sell them at $29.99, because you have to keep in mind that Ollie's actually makes money on $29.99. So that means that those helmets cost what, $5 to create? That's incredible. So they really need to rethink this, or find a way to stop selling these things for so much money. Of course, I understand that peg warmers are often also the figures that people don't necessarily enjoy or want. That's okay. But now when you're talking about helmets that sell for $200 over here, that are selling for $29.99, there's an issue there. There's a problem. Something has to be fixed. And again, I understand that they actually want to make as much money as they can. That's the business. But why are you guys doing so much figures? I think they're starting to fix it a little. But now there's figures made from figures that we don't really see in the movies or in the TV series. Nowadays, like I said, perhaps they are fixing the issue by having less figures coming out from series, like behind the scenes or in the background. They're only figures from the main characters, and that's okay. That's better. I mean, don't take out 25 figures out of Ahsoka, like that stormtrooper, that different stormtrooper, that guy in the background, that baby that was holding that little doll in the thingy. Bring out the good characters, the main characters in the show, and people will purchase them. I mean, don't bring. I'm sorry about always saying Lando, but it's a great example. Just don't make any Lando Calrissian figures in the Ahsoka series. He was not in that series, and we don't need another one with the Ahsoka name on the box or on the card back. You know what I mean? But again, I understand they have to make money. But when I see what is going on at Holly's in the US, I just can't help myself saying someone is getting ripped off, and not by a couple of bucks, by a huge amount of money, or something I haven't understand yet in this commercial institute that is the Star Wars or toys selling universe. Anyway, so personally, I don't mind purchasing peg warmers. I'm happy to have. I have tons of Landos in there. I have tons of Rose Tico or whatever characters that we've seen 2 seconds in the last movies. They're still Star Wars figures, and I love to collect them. But I don't need 5 of them each. And to be honest, I if I would have access to a Holly over here in Canada, I would probably lose my mind and purchase stuff every week over there because I see figures and even helmets that are available for you guys for $5 or even less, $2.99, $3.99 a figure that actually still sells over here in Canada for 24 or $50. So it's crazy for me. I mean, it's crazy, and it's kind of sad as well. Um, and if they are able to fill those stores with so many peg warmers, well, that they consider peg warmers, because we have to understand that these lots are purchased by Hollies from Walmart's or Kenner or whatever, other stores that are able to sell them at full price or even on sale. Um, there's so much stuff. It's crazy. It looks like every week there's a new waves of stuff coming into Ollie's, and it's like, man, I'm telling you, it's a really good thing that we don't have one because I would probably lose my house. I would purchase everything. The prices are nuts, crazy prices. Um, just to give you an idea, and I'm not whining over here. I'm just really giving you facts. Uh, I'm lucky when I purchase a Star Wars Vintage Collection figure at around $10, and that's the best prices you're gonna get over here. And those are basically the peg warmers. And helmets. I've never seen a Star Wars helmet for sale over in Canada under $100. Never, never. Black Series helmet, never. Unless you're purchasing it used, and even used itself for 150 or 125, or it's damaged, or you don't have the box or whatever. So yeah. So those peg warmers, they exist. They're there, and it really brings us to ask ourselves what I've already asked before. When is it too much? I mean, they must see that they're ending up with warehouses of toys that it doesn't sell, and they have to give them away at Ollie's for them to try to make a buck or two because they can try to sell it for ridiculous prices. Donc en français, in French, because I've been talking in English for a very long time. Donc aux États-Unis, il y a un magasin qui s'appelle Ollie's, et puis c'est complètement débile. Ils ont des casques de Star Wars, les helmets de Black Series pour 29,99. Vous allez dire, ouais, mais c'est pas Darth Vader, c'est pas. Hein? Ouais, mais quand même. C'est Wolf, c'est lui de Filoni, que moi j'ai payé 200$ ici. Puis c'est correct, j'étais bien content. Je le voulais, il est super beau, bien content. Mais 29,99 US, on s'entend que c'est en bas de 50$ canadiens, ou c'est alentour de 50$ canadiens. C'est 150$ de moins que ce qu'ils vendent ici, là. Et puis, ben, ils ont également un paquet de figurines. Ils reçoivent les Black Series. Les Black Series que nous, on paye 50$. Eux autres, ils les ont en bas de 10$ US. Fait qu'on parle de 14-15$ canadiens. Mais quand même, c'est complètement débile. Il va falloir vraiment qu'à un moment donné, les compagnies réalisent qu'il faut qu'ils arrêtent de faire les quantités incroyables en espérant que les collectionneurs ou les adultes vont tout acheter à des prix de fou. Je peux pas croire. C'est sûr qu'ils ont des entrepôts remplis, comme les bins ici, de stock qu'ils vendent pas. Tu peux bien mettre. Puis le problème aussi, c'est qu'ils mettent 3-4 Rose Tico de Lando Calrissian par caisse. Et ils savent très bien que c'est pas le personnage que les gens veulent acheter. Donc, c'est pour ça que quand on va chez Walmart, tu vois sur la ligne, tu as Rostico, tu as un personnage qui est dans le background d'une des séries, puis tu sais même pas c'est qui. Puis des Lando Calrissian qui se vendent pas. Puis il faut que tu attendes qu'ils tombent en liquidation. Puis si t'es chanceux, t'es pognes à 10$. Puis moi, c'est là que je vais les acheter. Quand je les ai à 10$, je me dis, bon, ben moi, je les ai à 10$, je suis content, je les ai dans ma collection. Puis au pire, si je suis capable de les revendre 12$, ils vont faire 2$. Puis ça, c'est si je suis capable de les revendre. Donc, il est où le problème? Et où la problématique dans tout ça? C'est. Faudrait pas qu'on ait faudrait qu'on ait un Hollies aussi au Canada. Parce que des figurines en bas de 10$ de Black Series, moi, c'est sûr, j'en achète à tous les semaines si ça arrive. Parce qu'ils reçoivent des vagues de jouets à toutes les semaines différents. Puis c'est des waves intéressantes, là. I have to say it in English. The prices, I mean, for resellers, this is amazing. Because some of those figures, Black Series figures, or even the helmets, they're going to sell for 3 or 4 times the price on eBay. And you say, yeah, but eBay, you have to pay fees. I totally understand. But when you purchase a Black Series figure at $10 and you're able to sell it at 25, that's $15 profit. So even if eBay takes $5 of that $15, you still have $10 of profit. So there's this issue over there. Donc, moi, c'est ça. Je me disais, écoute, s'il y a un Harley qui ouvre ici, oui, ça, moi, je vais coucher là puis j'attends que les waves arrivent parce qu'ils achètent tout ce qui vient de chez Walmart, puis c'est correct, mais quand est-ce que trop, c'est pas assez? C'est quand est-ce qu'il va falloir qu'à un moment donné, les compagnies réalisent que il faut qu'ils arrêtent de produire des affaires que les gens veulent pas. Faites des personnages, des main personnages des séries ou des films, pas du gars qui a marché en arrière pendant 2 secondes puis qu'on voit pas puis qu'on sait même pas comment il s'appelle. Au pire, vous faites des exclusivités. I remember that back in the days, those rarer figures, the figures that there were actual in backgrounds, were kind of special editions or limited editions, or you could get them by the mail or whatever. Make them special. Don't produce 15 different characters that won't sell. Like, put this guy that you don't really see in the movie or don't really see in the series in the background and say, oh, look, we have this guy and this guy this week, but we have made this fellow and it's limited. Oh, okay, that's interesting. And you say, I have the guy's on the background, blah, blah, blah. That's okay. But anyway. So, guys, that's it. I don't even know what else I can say except bring Hollies to Canada. I have money. It's not good money because it's Canadian money, but I still have money. I would purchase your peg warmers, and I would totally purchase $29.99 Black Series helmet that actually resells for $150 on Marketplace used. Yeah, so that's it. So guys, check it out for this week. I'm gonna try to fix the contest issue. And again, if you have any questions, if you have any suggestions, if you have any idea for the next episodes, please contact me and let me know. Si vous avez des suggestions, vous avez des idées, vous avez n'importe quelle idée qui vous vient en tête, écrivez-moi et on va pouvoir s'arranger pour essayer d'inclure ça dans les prochains épisodes. Next week, I don't know what I'm going to talk about. I'll think about it. If you have any suggestions again, let me know. And that's it. So thank you very much for joining me again this week on the 66th episode of The Vintage Kids. And yeah, I'm not going to stop doing this. I still love doing this. And if I have to start over and go back to old subjects, I will. Or I'm going to talk about making pies. Let's do some pies. Vintage pies. Yeah, why not? So, all right. Thank you very much. Have a great week. Be safe, be good, be wild. Be you. And it's flu season. Trust me, I know. So stop licking the bus post and subways post and stuff because you're gonna be sick. So thank you very much. Have a great week. On se revoit la semaine prochaine.